Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back. We are here. Turtlecast is up. My apologies for not being able to stream and a little bit of longer break between uploads, but unfortunately I did catch a cold, and because I'm a man, so that's a very serious condition, and I spent 2 days in bed recovering. And now I'm better. Not 100% yet, but almost getting there. So I'm back. I will be streaming tomorrow too. And more uploads, more testing, of course, to come. And welcome, everyone. And yes, it's 2025. You made it. I see everyone in chat is excited. I'm not so much. I feel old. But, but we did it. 2025. That's quite a round number. Welcome. And Cookie Crisp, thank you a lot for $10. Appreciate that. And Cookie Crisp has a message for everyone saying, Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you a lot, Cookie Crisp. Appreciate that. I hope you're doing good in this new year. And yeah, a lot of people in the chat already, so I will just say hello, everyone. We'll skip reading the names. That's I should do earlier. Now it's a too long list. I would be doing it entire Turtlecast. welcome, everyone. And there was not too much going on during the last week, luckily for me. So I was able to take this break. No new articles from Bethesda outside of Atomic Shop article update. They will be probably getting back from usual December holidays from Monday. So then we can expect maybe some updates about public test server and so on, and the Gaus testing. We'll see. We'll see how that's gonna go. I have a lot of stuff to cover about the incoming changes. We'll see if we'll get additional updates. The one thing I like a lot outside of the Ghoul update, of course, is the fact that pistols are finally getting some love. So that's coming. Finally. It was a while. Everyone was requesting, and finally it is happening. The pistols is getting a solid buff with the March Ghoul update. Oh, Nautical Stew! Special member message from Nautical Stew saying Happy New Year to everyone! Thank you, Nautical Stew. And now, let's start from questions on Discord. Let's find those questions so I answer them first. We'll be still doing today a member hangout, if you remember, after the stream, after the Turtlecast. So that is happening. I don't know for how long. Probably not too long. That's the only thing, but I will do it. Okay. Camera switch. Not this one. This one. There we go. So first, that's just recommendation of a video to watch. I'm looking for questions. Oh, there it is. Hi, Turtle. I have a full set of unyielding Secret Service armor. Have 2 limbs of fireproof. With the fireproof at plus 50, should I keep the fireproof perk or swap it for another endurance perk? Generally, if you want to resist any elemental damages, especially high dot damages, you need much higher. Depends what content you are facing, what kind of fire damage you are attempting to stop. That determines how much resistance you need to have. For example, in case of poison resistance and resisting damage from the snake in the raid, to resist it well, you need around 400 poison resistance. From 200 plus, you see that it's working. From 400, you see a lot of effect. So that's when damage is very high. On the other hand, small dots like regular creatures in Appalachia that do some little poison damage or a little fire damage, 50 to 100 is enough to work very well. So this is all dependent what time of fire damage you are attempting to counter. So the regular easy ones, 50 to 100. The endgame stuff like raids and maybe future raids. This current raid do not have fire damage really. But if future raid will have like a fire damage a lot, then you're looking for 400. Next. Hi Turtle. Have you tested gimbal bracers arms with scoped weapons? For some reason, one modded arm removes all scope sway. No need to hold breath, but two arms seems to bring a tiny bit of the sway back, at least on my Tesla Cannon. Shouldn't it be the other way around? Maybe if they coded it that once remove entirely, I was not trying with scopes. I wasn't doing a power armor sniper, so I didn't try. But if they remove it entirely, maybe adding two goes into like negative numbers and that's interfering with each other. I don't know what could be causing that. I never tried that. I was using it with heavy guns, so no scopes. It was perfect with heavy guns. Sneaky Pete. So it doesn't seem like Turtle actually responds to this channel, but hopefully... I always respond to this channel. How do you mean it doesn't mean like I respond? I've been looking for current info on AP stacking with the new mods. All info online is dated from start of game. AP regen was capped at 60%. It was never capped at 60%. It was common to run only 3 powered mods because the percentages were higher. The question is, does AP still cap at 60%? How much AP regen does the new rejuvenating mods add? With the heavy gun crit build I'm setting up, I have enough extra special points to add Action Boy. With a full powered set and Action Boy, that's 70%, and with Company T and all the other AP regen buffs, the AP regen still caps. So, okay. So I know what the question is. So let me say at this moment, there are 3 different AP regen effects. They all stack with itself and with other without any limit. You can absolutely achieve a full AP regeneration in 1 second. Like entire AP bar can be refilled in 1 second if you stack everything. Pointless, I know, but possible. Now, I don't know who took this 60% value and from where. Now, Action Boy, this is a base AP regen. Action Boy and several similar effects that is affecting the base AP regen by percentage points. So, in other words, the weakest AP regen effect. And it will stop if you enter VATS. This one doesn't work. Then, Company T, as well as powered on armor, this is percentage-based AP regen based on entire AP bar. So if you have 10% AP regen from a T, that's way better than full Action Boy and so on, because 10% from the Company T means every second 10% of your total AP bar will be refilled just from the T buff that's stuck with everything else. So just the T itself will give you 10% of your total bar per second. So 10 seconds, full bar refilled if T is the only thing that is regenerating your action points. Of course, there is base regen and so on. So base regen already cuts it down to 9 seconds. If you add anything on top, you're cutting it down further. If you add 2 pieces of powered, that will stack with the T because that's the same type. So we'll get 20%. It means in 5 seconds, your entire AP bar will regenerate, and so on if you add more. Then you ask about rejuvenators. That's different. That's a third type of AP regeneration. This is a fixed value AP regeneration. So let's say you will get from rejuvenating, depends how many pieces, but for simplicity here, let's say you have 10 action points from rejuvenating regen. That's a flat 10 action points that will refill every second. Therefore, it depends how big your AP bar is, how long it will take, but this one will carry on even if you are inside VATS and using action points. When all other effects will be disabled, this one will carry on. This effect is the same like effect when you take coffee, but coffee is only 25-second duration, so very short one, but similar effect, 12 action points per second from coffee for 25 seconds. That stacks with coffee as well. All of them stack. There is no limit. You can drink 100 coffee and the effect will be that you will just not notice your bar draining at all at any point. So they all stack. Rejuvenating stacks, coffee stack, Percard stack, powered mods, and tea stack. So those are all. Maybe I should do a guide explaining that all in game. Seems like there is still a lot of confusion about this topic. I see those questions popping up. There is no cap, and someone even have a spreadsheet. Would solar armor be good for ghouls? Generally, yes, although you will not get much effect out of solar, unfortunately, because you always want to be above 100% health, so solar will not be working, but it will be healing others around you if they need healing. So that's good, and it will work. It has very low radiation resistance, so that's additional plus. So definitely will work. The health regeneration stuff for a lazy type ghoul build that do not rely on glow will be nice too, but most ghouls will rely on glow, and glow is the second health bar. Second health bar is only affected by radiation. Nothing else can heal it. What are the best third stars for a normal bow? The last star, probably VATS critical recharge, if you need it. I don't know if less AP cost will be much use at all. Perception you could, yeah, perception you could for better VATS accuracy, if nothing else, or agility or other special, it's always valid. Especially that now the special is +3 when it's on a weapon. So you can use it. Less VATS, I don't think, yeah, you are correct. It would be a waste, this is slowing so slowly. Yeah, faster reload doesn't seem to help. So faster VATS critical recharge, if you need that, that's something that will help. Or more luck, or more agility, or more perception. You can just slot in special, absolutely. On what power armor and regular armor set I should start working on getting set up for ghoul? So the power armor I'm not changing. I will be using the raid power armor for the ghoul. It's relatively low radiation resistance on this raid power armor. Every other stat is awesome. If you care about carry weight, I think excavator is relatively low on radiation resist. You don't need to achieve 0, as there are perks reducing your radiation resistance that you can apply to ghoul, and all you need to achieve is 0 rad resist. The best sets like T65, those are the worst for ghoul, obviously for the reason of very high radiation resistance. The same applies to Ultra Sight power armor, Strangler Heart power armor, those are bad for the ghoul. But everything with low radiation resist is good for the ghoul. Angry Panda saying, hello AT, I have been wanting to ask this for so long, but I keep forgetting. So when having hip-fire accuracy or perg ground pounder, do the hip-fire accuracy work towards VATS, and if so, how it works? It does not. Question 2. I have tested all versions and combos on Gaus shotgun. Best one was anti-armor, crit damage, minus AP cost. An idea how I can boost hit chance on this weapon? By increasing your perception. The problem with this weapon is low range, and you cannot get good VATS hit chance when shooting outside of weapon range, no matter what you do. So you cannot really do much outside of boosting your arm perception. This will not go crazy high. Bethesda decided to nerf the range on the Gaus shotgun. So it's like other shotguns, short range only. If you'll be close, the hit chance will be good. But farther away, no. And I'm surprised you didn't use explosive on the second star. That's my best. Was it explosive the best for you? That you went for crit damage and not anti-armor explosive? Interesting. Changing for prime to whatever the name is that increases the hit chance, it does work, but the less in damage just isn't really worth it. Prime less in damage? I'm not sure if I understand this sentence, but let's go on. I'm using it in VATS, but honestly, what do you think? Should I abandon the VATS and use it outside of VATS? You shouldn't abandon the VATS. What you could do, just aim for the torso and spam it more if you have problem with aiming at the head. And if using outside VATS, what should you recommend me trying on the second star? Explosive. Explosive. Are we talking still about Gaus shotgun? All Gaus weapons benefit greatly from explosive legendary effect. I don't know why it's not on your list. Oh, there is. I have tried explosive. It doesn't seem to... It does. How it doesn't seem to do anything? The best second star. Unless there is some bug that I don't know about with the Gaus shotgun now. Explosive supposed to give you the highest damage boost. Not on damage numbers, you will probably do not notice them as they overlap. Like there is so many projectiles and explosions, so damage numbers on enemies may not really reflect the damage you are doing, but health bar should. Next, hello Turtle. With the changes to the public test server for concentrated fire and awareness, is it going to be like charisma where you need to have your level specials to be able to get the benefit, or will legendary special and unyielding be able to give you those bonuses? Everything gives those bonuses. The new scaling is the same like endurance perks. Bethesda just introducing it slowly but surely to more and more perks, like scaling with its corresponding special, the total, not the build one, the total one on the special card when you open it in the Pip-Boy. Yeah, test server always can change. But yeah, total perception will matter for awareness and concentrated fire. And concentrated fire, just a quick note here for those of you that are not aware, will no longer be required to aim for the head. It will be for the benefit of increased accuracy and increased damage for consecutive shots after the changes, but it will not be required just to hit the head. You'll be able to aim for any body part in VATS without the perk. So that's additional change. Hello, I have a question. Is there a website where I can see the best modifications for both weapons and armor? Not that I know of, and that would be up to date. There is Fallout Wiki, usually updated, but recently Fallout is changing so fast with all those patches, like all online games, that I don't know if anyone is like making a website that is frequently updated. Next one. Happy New Year, Mr. Turtle. Question. While trying to get the most damage per shot against the EN06 Guardian in Gleaming Depths on a raid team, I equipped the Taking One for the Team legendary perk card, expecting an increase to my damage displayed during the fight, but noticed the damage per shot did not change. So sad, but is that expected? I would think it would qualify as an enemy attacking you. Thank you. It does work, but what I don't see from your question is, was there a teammate with you? You say on a raid team, there is no mention about teammates. You need to have a teammate for this perk to work. Not only be on team, but have at least one teammate. It doesn't need to be anywhere near you. You just need to have at least one teammate. That's how it works. It's similar to how the card that boosts mutation works. You need a teammate. Hi, I apologize if you answer this, but how does Conductors compare to Vampire? With my Vampire 50-25 fixer, I'm immortal, but my DPS is weak. My anti-armor 50-25 hits hard, but I have to be a bit shy when I'm detected. It's close to Vampire. I would say close because the server lag can affect it and sometimes do not trigger correctly as it's supposed to, but it's close. On paper, with critical every other shot is as good as Vampire. In practice, from my testing, is a little bit weaker, but yes, it will replace Vampire quite well. I did that. I tested that, and it was replacing Vampire. It was not amazing for AP regeneration, as I'm saying, but for health, very good. Hey Turtle, What ways are there to reduce self-damage from the Tesla cannon other than assassins? So there is effect on the second star that reduces the damage from explosions. That's supposed to work. I didn't test with Tesla cannon, but it's supposed to work on it too, because that's explosive damage. Outside of that, Tesla is doing energy damage, so increasing your energy resistance reduces the damage you are taking. And then there is assassins that you already know about. Another question. Hello AT and Happy New Year. I was fairly sure I did a good job at attempting to keep up with future changes, but this change come out of nowhere to me. So I'm not sure if it is actually correct or if I misread it. Do you know if Furious will automatically switch to Onslaught? In example, already have Furious equipped and then the next day it's Onslaught? Most likely. Like for now, it's a testing phase, so you shouldn't assume everything will happen as this is now. Even Onslaught is Onslaught. That's a temporary name. They already said it's a temporary name. We don't know where the effect will be named, if that name stays, or they do come up with different name. It's labeled as a temporary name. The effect is buggy as well. It's going crazy. Like, for some reason, stacks are not stopping. There should be a limit how many stacks you can get. The limit doesn't work in a lot of scenarios. I was able to get my weapon just for fun to reload in a split second with multiple stacks on slot. I was like, reload what, I don't know, quarter of a second maybe? My laser rifle was reloading. But that was insanely fast. It was looking ridiculous. But yeah, the effect is really cool in general. It still requires fixing and tinkering. I hope it will make it to the game with the March patch. There is still time. And they do need to fix it. I expect Furious to be just auto-updated like always with effects. Do mod plans for Vulcan Power Armor drop in the first stage? I've run it over 100 times, but only the base plans for the pieces have dropped. They do drop, because I did drop them. You should get approximately 2 to 3 plans per 100 stages. So I don't know how you didn't drop any. Maybe you are just very unlucky. They should drop. Next. Hello, Mr. Turtle. More of an observation than a question. Just to say I have noted my legendary scrapping to see if the 1 to 1.5% plan rate is accurate, and it seems it is. Over a number of weeks, I scrapped 1,754 items, and going to assume average 2 stars, so 3,508 stars, and got 46 legendary crafting plans, so approximately 1.3%, though sometimes feels lower. So thank you for this observation. I can explain why it's not hitting 1.5%. The reason for that is that after you learn some of the effects, you will be scrapping items that basically already contain effects you learn, so there is no chance to learn them. They should be removed from the calculation at some point. I think maybe after you scrap 1000, you unlocked enough that number of stars effectively was halved, as half of them you already knew. So that's how it's dropping over time, because only the items that contain effects you didn't learn yet count for that. And it feels lower. Yeah, that's absolutely because we always want to unlock something, and for most times nothing. But 1% is low, so as expected, it is working. I still have a feeling it's working better on private server, maybe just a feeling. And last one. Hi Turtle. I just noticed that several weapons have tags like ballistic, energy, rifle, etc. Unfortunately, despite these tags, many weapons don't work as they should. For example, the Gatling Plasma with Science perk card. Do you think they will improve? It would be nice to be able to use MG42 with the heavy and rifle perks, and it has both tags. It's actually not a bug. I know from developers when it was first introduced, so it's not a bug. It's working as intended. The problem may be with description of those science perk cards, ballistic bulk, high voltage Hefe. It works on high voltage Hefe and science perks. Works on energy weapons with exception of heavy weapons, so small energy weapons only. Works on auto-axe, luckily, for some reason. So I don't know if that's supposed to, but yeah. Heavy guns are intentionally excluded. So the fact that they have a tag heavy makes science perk bonus do not work on them anymore. The damage bonus from science perk. That's intentional. That's the heavy tag that is removing the effect. So if that would be just energy, it would work. Energy rifle, as rifle is classified as small gun, it will work. Then Gatling plasma, energy heavy, doesn't work. And that concludes all the questions. I can now return to the chat. Was a lot of questions. Thank you for them. Always like to see your questions, see what's going on. What are the most common ones? Oh, Spiteful Angel, thank you a lot for donating 10 memberships. I appreciate that. I'm just trying to catch up with the chat now, so who do I welcome? Kadim, Narvi Stories, Kimo Shabi, Fugazi, Car Enthusiast, NY Stizzy, BM, Carla Oates, Kitty Comic, and Jason Madriga. Welcome, and may the shell be with you. Welcome to Turtles Army. Huge thanks to Spiteful Angel. Appreciate that. Oh, and Jesus for ya with 100 bucks. Appreciate that. Let's see the message. Jesus is saying, hello, Turtle. I want to celebrate. After at least 100 runs against the robot boss, Pounders finally dropped, and the same day, I learned through Hikers. Wishing everyone luck in the new year. Also, you are starting New Year's strong, Jesus for you. Happy to hear that worked for you. And yeah, cheers. It's not a champagne, but cheers. I appreciate that a lot, Jesus. Thank you for your support. All right, back in the chat. If you wanted to say something, I'm in the chat. Yeah, I don't know exactly mechanic behind the learning plans of those legendary effects. I know only percentages, and that you can learn only one per scrapped item. You can drop multiple mod boxes, but you can learn only once. It's very hard to get plans to learn 4-star legendary effects. The box mods drop quite commonly from the raid if you do it a lot. I mean, getting the one you actually need, it's still hard, but 4 stars are dropping from the raid. In case of some of them, because 4-star weapons do not drop, like random 4-star weapons do not drop, so to learn those, you would need to equip it on the weapon, the box mod, then scrap it for a chance to learn, which is extreme effort. I know that I think one person exists that did that and unlock everything. I don't know exactly how, what they did. Did they hire like a couple thousand people to help them farm? I don't know, but one person did it. I am not gonna do it. It's too much. I'm just relying on farming mod boxes. Yeah, some of those plans incredibly hard, very hard to get. I cannot get them. Okay, let's be honest. I scrapped a lot of named legendary weapons, a lot of 4-star armor pieces, and so on. Guess how many 4-star effects I unlocked so far? Ready? 0. That's that many. That many. That's why I gave up. I stopped crafting those 4-star weapons to hope to learn something and just relying on box mods. If I learn one, I will learn it. I tried initially. I spent a couple hundred modules getting 0 learned. And then I was like, it is what it is. I'm not gonna try so hard to unlock them. Oh, Paulius Keck, thank you a lot for joining Turtles Army. Appreciate that. Thank you for your support. And may the shell be with you. Thank you very much. And Rasco only got lucky with Rangers. Still a good one, so you are lucky. Visvik can craft rejuvenators. You see? People are learning some mods. That's just me that have zero. And the unique weapons that can be crafted for learning anti-armor effect. Wait, there was one? I think? I don't remember now. If that counts. I forgot. I think it was something. Or maybe not. Yeah, but crafting 4-star legendaries cost 120 modules per box. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I would like a higher percentage chance, but at this moment, because we can get box mods, so that's something. So it's not terribly bad system, because at least those legendary effects in limited amounts but are available from the raid. Could have been worse. Oh, Face Breaker is anti-armor? Maybe Face Breaker was that. I don't even remember now. Oh no. Why is that? Did it freeze? My screen freeze. Reload. No, that was the browser. I think that's just my browser freeze. We still live? Looks like we are still live. Okay, that was just a browser random freeze. Oh, Ultra Cyteral Sword. Yeah, that's the anti-armor one. Yeah, you got it, Kartsi. That's the one I didn't review yet on video. That's why I forgot. Oh, the Vault Bro. Thank you a lot for $5. Appreciate that. And the Vault Bro is saying, hello, Mr. Turtle. Thanks for all of your insight and wisdom. Oh, thank you a lot for your support, the Vault Bros. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, Facebreaker will be furious. Yeah, so the Ultra Side Terror Sword, that will be anti-armor. Facebreaker furious. Yeah, you're right. Facebreaker furious. I remember, yeah. Believe all the weapons are bad. I mean, not necessarily bad, but not the best. Like the best in the class, no. Some of them are good, like decent weapons. If they would be tradable, that would be perfect gift for some other players that do not have them, but they are not tradable. The 4-star named legendaries are non-tradable, and that's bad. Oh, Matthew David, you can craft pinpointers? How did you learn it? Did you equip your pinpointers and scrap the weapons? And Gila Monster is deciding between Ticket to Revenge or a quad pinpointers railway. Ticket to Revenge is cool, but cannot be made 4-star. Therefore, quad is currently a winner. Quad pinpointers railway, way more powerful. Pinpointers is amazing effect. I hope they will not nerf it. It's so good. Oh, Matthew managed to learn it after scrapping just 5 pinpointers weapons? Wow. You are lucky, Matthew. The best weapon effect after scrapping 5. Wow. So we are rich now. You can craft it, one, and demand almost anything you want. Everyone wants this effect. My favorite weapons for pinpointers are all the weapons that can be used in VATS. I like it for VATS users. Why would pinpointers be nerfed? I hope it will not be. It's just the one that performs way better than any other. For example, bullies is the effect that's supposed to be better, but it's not because first shot basically do not apply it and only following shot do. Both effects, bullies and pinpointers, do not match description. For example, pinpointers list that it should be versus limbs, but it works on the head too. That's where the magic starts. By the description, you would think head is not a limb and shouldn't count, but it does count. In the same time, bullies is for the weak spot and does work for the weak spot, but in description it says only outside of VATS, but in practice it does work in VATS. So something is off. Something is off. We don't know what's supposed to be happening. Something is off. And pinpointers being multiplicative, that's not a bug in my opinion. That's intended because pinpointers is adding multiplier to the weak spot, to all limbs, basically making everything but a torso a weak spot of the enemy. That's how pinpointers works. So if you are hitting arm, you have the same bonus as someone else without pinpointers hitting a head in case of super mutant. If you hit a super mutant head, normally it's 1.5x multiplier. For arms, it's 0. If you hit arm with pinpointer, it will be 1.5 multiplier. If you hit head with pinpointers, it will be 2.0x multiplier because 1.5 and 0.5 from pinpointers, so we have 2. That's how it works. I hope that helps. That's how pinpointers works. And that's why it's the most powerful, because it applies to everything but the torso. For most enemies. Some more complicated, bigger enemies, you need to figure out which pieces are classified as outside pieces, limbs, and which ones as a torso. But normally, no, not 225. It's added. It's the same like a weak spot, so it's adding. It's coded the same way like a weak spot Rascal, so it's not 225 for the head with pinpointers, it's 2.0 because it's adding 1.5 plus 0.5. You add it first and then you use it. The same reason for that, you will notice that when using pinpointers or snake eye, because snake eye I think is already like 5x multiplier or something ridiculous like that. If you add pinpointers on top, it still helps, but that's 5.5 multiplier and not 7.5. But because it's a multiplier, so it's still a multiplier, so it's still stronger than bullies. As I was comparing bullies versus pinpointers on the snake eye, and pinpointer was still stronger. No, it doesn't check if it can be crippled for pinpointers, as everything can be crippled. And pinpointers works on enemies that cannot be crippled as well, the same. It does nothing to do with crippling. That's not a crippling effect. It's only checking if it's not a torso at this moment. If it's not the middle of the enemy, then bonus is applied. Okay, I think I answered all the questions now, so we'll be heading for the member hangout to play a little bit Fallout. I need to do a little bit of a raid, as I have some testing in the raid to do. So let's go there. Let's go for a member hangout. Thank you everyone for being here. And see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, everyone. Saturday, we're streaming as normal in the evening time. And that being said, have an awesome weekend. First weekend of 2025. And see you there, everyone. Bye.